Hello again. Welcome back. My name is David. These are the Turtle Talks. It's companion material to my book, The Turtle Book, that you can find on Amazon if you prefer reading stuff as well, holding something in your hand. Um, let's see. Last time I was talking about true nature and how if your true nature is as a soul, as our Pascal's wager leads us to believe, and you are a being of light and consciousness, then maybe all that mystical stuff about being made in the image of God means that God is a being of light and consciousness, right? So I would not, again, be the first to think any of these things, right? So as I mentioned last time, we have the yin yang sign, which again is not just the curvy line down the middle with black and white, but there's a little black circle in the white and there's a little white circle in the black, and that sort of implies this ongoing flow between both sides, which refers again back to what I was saying about creative force and the unconditional receiver, which we call love, right? So those would be the two aspects of God: the power of actually doing stuff, and then the power of receiving that stuff and feeding back on it, right? There is an ancient mystic named Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes Trismegistus means thrice mage. That would be a very wise and powerful person, I think. Anyway, some of you may have heard of something called the Emerald Tablet, which was a document created by Hermes Trismegistus. And within that document is referred to the idea as above, so below, right? Which in common speak might easily be translated as there's not as much of a difference between, quote, the other side and this place where we are as you might think. And there also might not be much of a difference at all between you here and you there, right? This is the other side of immortality, right? If you're an immortal soul that reincarnates, that's great. It's awesome. It's incredibly fantastic to be over a fear of dying. If dying is the number one fear on earth, then unquestionably the number one benefit to meditation and touching your larger spirit and your larger soul on a daily basis, we'll talk more about how to do that in the future, but when you do that on a regular basis, that whole concept of immortality, definitely the best side effect that a person could have from meditation. There's no doubt that's true. But there is the other side of it, which is, if you're immortal, you're immortal. You take you with you, right? Maybe this whole process that we're talking about for the past several weeks about examining yourself and improving yourself, and this whole thing that we talked about last time in terms of creative force and love and having evolution, if you're an immortal, truly immortal being of consciousness, maybe literally this is what you do all the time. Maybe this is it. Maybe the process of looking at yourself is the activity of immortal souls, right? What would this place be then? Well, some sort of exercise room, right? There is something that's fundamentally different about this place than there is about, quote, the other side. That set of fundamental differences would be what we have heard of before as the veil, which is the expression that mystical people tend to use, spiritual people, because a veil as a piece of clothing is a thing that you can see through but only partially. And that's kind of the way our relationship is with the whole rest of the universe and God and truth and all that sort of stuff. We can see it if we look really hard and we get up close, but we can't really see the whole thing. We can't see the whole picture. That's built into this place for its own reasons, and we can talk about that again more later. But that whole thing, I think of it as if I'm living in a big fishbowl, and then God and the rest of the universe and whatever, they're sort of looking down, and even myself as a soul with all my other soul buddies, we're sort of looking down through this big glass fishbowl, and here the rest of us are, or part of us are, right, in reality, right? So Think about the ocean, right? If you take a drop of water from the surface of the ocean, or you take a drop of water from a deeper part of the ocean, it's the same ocean, it's the same water, it's exactly the same thing. But there is one key difference between the surface of the ocean and the rest of the body of the ocean. The surface of the ocean touches the sky. So that's how I sometimes think about my soul experience here, which is there is certainly a bigger, grander, larger, more energetic me, but it is closely integrated with this body experience that I'm having. And this part of my soul, this part of my experience is touching this place. It's touching the sky, right? And so that whole approach to things can help you not take the things in your life as seriously. It can help you sort of stay in a larger mental frame of mind. And as we were talking about, if as above, so below, meaning that the true nature of God and consciousness is all immortal, and it's all very much like the experience that we've been sharing together over the past couple of weeks, then maybe this stuff that you're doing, paying close attention to yourself, is really the most important thing you can do. Maybe that's a theme that crosses over between you and your soul life and whatever it is that God is doing, being made in the image of God that way. As above, so below. The yin-yang sign with the little dots on the other side that imply this interaction going on. Even back to Carlos Castaneda's visualization of us as a luminous egg with an eye spot and light going back and forth, right? All of this, all of these perspectives can help you understand yourself, understand more clearly your own behavior. It helps you observe yourself, you observe others doing the same thing. You're a being of light and consciousness. Your habits, your mental habits have been conditioned by your point of view. It seems to be an incredibly important and potentially super rewarding thing to be trying to scrub that point of view. We've got a couple different tools, from Ho'oponopono to Kabbalah to some meditation stuff we're going to get into later, that are going to help you clear that point of view. And as you continue to clear that point of view, as you continue to be able to more accurately see the truth of you and the truth of the universe and how all that stuff fits together, it does lead to a happier, calmer, more fulfilling life. Those are pleasant side effects, all alongside the idea that you're an immortal soul. So fear of death, not so much a big thing. When you can get past fear of death, you can get past other fears. You can get into making your decisions based in love, not fear, as I talked about last time, can lead to some super positive outcomes. Hope you have a great day. Aloha.